Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about different kinds of cat litter. The most common type of cat litter is clay-based cat litter. It comes either clumping or non-clumping, scented or unscented. It's heavy, and your cat can track it around your house very easily. It gets even heavier when it's wet, and I personally find that it doesn't really keep the scent at bay for that long. You scoop up the clumped pee and poo and you just throw them out in the garbage. You can't compost them, you can't flush them down the drain either. After a few weeks, it needs to be all dumped and replaced with fresh litter, even if there are no pee clumps in it. For that reason, it's not my favorite. Also, if you are an elderly person or you can't carry a lot of weight, they are extremely heavy, and even the lightweight versions are heavy. And another problem is they're extremely dusty. There are some that are less dusty than others, but in general they are super dusty. You can pour them out and you'll get a cloud of dust. I'll make another video talking about why I really don't like clay-based litter, but for some people it is a good option, so don't discount clay litter. The next one is silica gel litter. Now, when most people think silica gels, they think of the silica gel shoe packs that you get. These are not the same. They're non-toxic, so they're safe for your cat. You don't have to be worried. They are a little bit dusty, but it's a different kind of dust, so it's not harmful to your cat. I'll do another video about that, like I said earlier. There's good odor control for a week or two, and then you have to dump out again all of the litter after 2 weeks. You see it change color. It doesn't clump, so it's not clumping. The silica gel just absorbs the pee. You have to shake it around, and then you take up the solid waste and you can throw that out. There's a specific brand called Pretty Litter that is color changing, so it can tell you your cat's pH level, your cat's urine's pH level, and if there's blood in it. So it is a good way to tell if your cat is healthy or not. So if you are concerned about your cat's health risk or your cat's health, then maybe getting the Pretty Litter would be a good idea, just to make sure of that. So for that reason, silica gel litters are a good thing. They're also relatively lightweight, which is a nice point. Now, there are other kinds of litters. Before I go into the litter that I personally use and I personally absolutely love, I'm going to talk about the more miscellaneous kinds of litters, so like the coconut husk litters. It is available, and it's good for a single purpose, I find. If you need something that's lightweight and that's it, coconut husk litter is for you. It's so lightweight, it's like carrying a bag of nothing. But it's really not that great. I don't personally like it. It tracks everywhere. It goes absolutely everywhere. I've had it once, never again. It goes everywhere. It's not super absorbing either. It stays wet relatively long, and it's not clumping. It's brown, so the poop's kind of hard to see that it's poop in there. I don't personally like it, but if you need something lightweight, it might be an option for you. There is also paper-based litter for declawed cats. If your cat has really sensitive paws, that might be an option. I don't know how good they are at odor control. I've never tried it. And now we come to my personal favorite litter that I've ever found. I'm never going back to any other kind of litter. I'm a big fan of pine pellets. First of all, they smell, like I keep sniffing this and it smells just like a forest. So there's that. It's not clumping. It's relatively, one thing that all of these other have in common is that they're expensive. This is the cheapest option that you will ever find, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit. So they aren't clumping. What happens is when the urine or liquid comes into contact with these pellets, they disintegrate back into sawdust. So all of the parts where your cat's peed is just going to turn into sawdust. If you have a sifting litter box, you just sift that down. The solid waste is going to stay. You can just pick that up. Because it is just wood, you can throw it in the compost. You can throw the poop in the toilet and flush it down the drain, which has been amazing, and it doesn't smell. It really doesn't. The only time that it smells is if there's solid waste in there. Other than that, the pee, you can literally leave a full litter box of like sawdust full of pee, and it won't smell like pee at all. If anything, it smells like sawdust, like pine. If you don't like that smell, if you absolutely hate the smell of pine, this is not for you. You will hate this. But why am I always itchy in videos? I said that this is the most inexpensive litter. Now, if you go into a pet store to buy it, it's not necessarily the case. But because it's just pine pellets, you can actually buy fire pine to cook with. Local hardware store, you can find these for so cheap, like $5-7 for 40 pounds. So just make sure you get the right kind, and you've got yourself $7 for 40 pounds of litter. It's amazing. Now, it is a bit of a different setup that you have to get for this kind of litter. Now, with clay litter, you can just use, with all of the other litters, you can just use a normal pan litter. But with this, I started off using that, but I find that it's a bit more complicated because of the sawdust. You can't get rid of that. You would have to then empty out the whole contents after a little bit and refill it back, which is pretty wasteful. And the reason I switched over to pine litter is to be a bit more mindful of my waste. So to get the best out of these, I do recommend a sifting litter box. Now, there's one on Amazon for $12, which is what I have, and it's perfect. But there's a bunch of other brands that do it. You don't necessarily need to get one on Amazon. But sifting litter boxes are, I don't know why more people don't talk about them, because you can also use them for your clay-based litter. I'm going to do a whole video on specifically litter boxes. But I will say, for pine pellets, you do want a sifting litter box. You shake out the sawdust all the way at the bottom, and at the top, there's only the clean pellets that stay. Pine pellet litter is going to be really good for literally anyone. If you don't like the dust clouds that you get from clay litter, try this. It's less heavy, not per bag, because you probably are going to get like a 40-pound bag if you do. So the individual bag themselves isn't less heavy, but like for the same amount of clay litter, pine litter is a lot less heavy. It's less expensive. It's so much easier to manage because you don't have to scrape the bottom of your litter box and the poo is just there. You just sift it and it comes to the top and you just throw it out in the toilet and you flush it down the drain. It's super simple for anyone. And there you go. That is the different kinds of litter that you can use for your cats. Next time I'm going to do a video on the specific litter boxes. Stay tuned for that. Until then, what is your favorite kind of litter? Is there something that I haven't talked about that different parts of the world use? Let me know in the comments what you do for your cat. I'd be actually very interested to know. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!